ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, X-Wing players, and anyone who is potentially interested in X-Wing or other Star Wars games. Welcome to our channel. This is a channel that is dedicated to the games in the Star Wars universe. My call sign is BatMando. If you are new to X-Wing, then this is the channel to watch, and if you are getting back into 2.5, then this is the place to be. Now, if you have any different insights than what we present in this video, then please feel free to drop a comment below, because the more our new players learn from other people's insights, the better they become. So, in which case, that leads me to our next point, and that is, welcome to our Star Wars X-Wing community. So, if you are brand new to this game, I will tell you that in our area where I play, there are already pilots, aka players, that are willing to help other players get into the game, get better at the game, because let's face it, the first couple of games, or the first 3 or 4 weeks of the game, are going to be rough because you're learning a whole new thing and everything else. So in which case, this is why we encourage you to get with veteran players or other players, and in which case, just learn from them, take their advice. And if you still need more, then this is what this channel is here for. So in which case, we welcome you to our community, and this is a ongoing series, and this series is about list building.
Greetings, pilots. This is Commander Orrin, here with a follow-up on the TIE Fighter Starfighter orientation video, and we're going to do a form-up session. So we're just going to be talking about some of the squads that I would utilize TIE LN fighters in, and you're going to be seeing the pilots that we mentioned in the Starfighter orientation video, as well as some of my other favorite pilots. Naturally, as a player, you tend to find your favorite ships, so you'll see sort of some of my biases and my favorite ships, but I will do my best to talk about the general doctrine and idea of these lists so that you can also plug and play with your favorite pilots. So let's get started. This is what I like to call Crimson Squadron. A long time ago, I wanted to have a squad of ships all with red stripes to match Sunterfell's, like in the EA Squadrons game, because me and my brother and our friends would play that game, and we all had red stripes on our TIE fighters and bombers and reapers and such. So this is the 5th version of this squad, of this list with all the painted stripes, and this is a really good example of utilizing one of the support TIE fighters we talked about, Iden Versio, as well as 2 of our damage dealer TIEs, which, funny enough, are other members of Inferno Squad. Sunterfell, my favorite pilot in the game, is the ace of this list, so his main job is to keep his distance and go after priority targets and just in general be a hunter. Major Vermeil is a TIE Reaper, which with Darth Vader crew, who basically allows you to spend the Force to make your opponents choose to damage their ships or lose focus or evade tokens, which is pretty powerful. And Vermeil's ability just goes with that to hit like a truck, because if you don't have a green token, he gets to change a blank or a eyeball result to a hit. So basically, Vader damages you, or he takes away your token and Vermeil gets another hit on you. So he's basically, Sunterfell is the hammer of this list, and Major Vermeil is the anvil. If you have to mess with him, you're not having a good day. If you have to mess with him, you're really not having a good day. And then the TIEs were just meant to be, the rest of the list. Like we talked about in the video, my 2 damage dealers go in for the initial engagement. They do as much damage as they can. Sane, with a marksmanship, has a really good chance of rolling a crit, and if she rolls a crit, she can cancel that result and just deal a face down damage to the attacker. No defense roll, the rest of the attack essentially doesn't happen. She just automatically deals you a damage. And then that's really great because that damage can go under shields, and if I attack first with her and she gets a crit, she deals a face down damage below shields, and then Gideon gets an extra attack die on that same target. So these 2 are a really fun pair to run together, sort of like Mauler and Scourge in the Starfighter orientation video, which we'll talk about them later as well. These 2 are a really good pair of damage dealers to run because their abilities synergize. And It might seem sacrilegious, but all of Inferno Squad have enough loadout to carry a shield upgrade, and that's what I always put on them, because there's enough points to give marksmanship for her to get her crit, and Gideon has enough to get predator and marksmanship for just better attacks. And there's not really a lot of flashy upgrades you put on TIE fighters if they have loadout. You know, you don't get torpedoes, you don't get bombs, you don't have turrets, so it's really just, do they have enough to get a shield upgrade so that they survive one good attack without getting blown away? Yes. Can they get anything else that they need? Yes. Good. And Iden is the case where they only gave her 8 loadout, so she just has a shield upgrade because everybody wants to kill Iden, because they want to kill Iden so she pops her ability to stay alive, and then she can't use it to help one of her friends. So Iden is always a priority target, and a lot of players just hate her with a passion. So shield upgrade, absolutely necessary. So this is Crimson Squadron. This is the only named squadron that I'm going to have today. Some of the other squadrons that I have are just going to be labeled example squadrons, but they are squadrons I've flown in the past. They just aren't legendary and don't have cool names. So let's move on to the first one. This is an example squadron of a list that I've been playing at a couple of tournaments this year. I've replaced the regular buildable version of Soontir with the Battle of Endor Soontir because he's the version I've been using most recently. They're both 5 points, so as far as cost, they're interchangeable. But I've been finding that the Battle of Endor Soontir is really fun and is a little bit more forgiving and has an easier time staying alive. So he's been very nice to play. And then we have Battle of Yavin Darth Vader, who is basically just a tank who will always get 3 hits. Between Advanced Targeting Computer and the Force, and his pilot ability where he can spend Force to change one blank to a hit result, Vader's point is basically to fly at the enemy, target lock people, and guarantee hits and mostly crits. And then we have, this is an error. It says Iden Versio, but this is really Mauler Mythal, the pilot skill 5. Okay, let's just fix this real quick. So these are my 2 damage dealers that we have talked about. Mauler shoots 4 dice at range 1. All we're going to put on him is Predator because he only has 4 loadout, and like we said earlier, if he can't get a shield upgrade, give him a simple mod that increases his attack. So now if he's range 1 and bullseye, he gets to reroll a die as well as focus, hopefully. Because like we said when talking about Howlrunner, ties don't normally get rerolls, which is why you'll see me throw Predator on every tie that can also, that any tie that can get Predator and doesn't need a shield upgrade gets Predator or marksmanship. Scourge is going to get the same thing, and Scourge is actually even better. We didn't mention his ability in the Starfighter orientation video, but he gets his extra die for being in bullseye, so he loves Predator because he'll get an extra die at any range in bullseye. The only drawback to this current list is I was using Tomax Bren, the regular version, because at the time he could get barrage rockets, which essentially means your bomber can focus and be a 3 attack dice ship. But he could also get bomblet generator, and he could get saturation salvo, which we'll just take. It's not going to let us, build the list this way, but we'll show you what saturation salvo does. Saturation salvo, you can spend a charge from your upgrade, which barrage rockets has 5 charges. So if you needed to, you could spend saturation salvo and choose 2 defense dice. The defender must reroll those dice. So when attacking high agility ships, barrage rockets is really good because if they roll 3 or even 2 evades, you could spend one of these extra charges from barrage rockets to make them reroll it. So that was really good. And then he could also fit bomblet generator. So he used to have 10 loadout. Now he only has 7. So you could still run him. You would just have to get rid of bomblet and saturation, and just like we said, we'll throw marksmanship on him because it's an easy 1 point, and it gives you an extra crit instead of a hit. But the point of this list was essentially overpower through pilot skill, because you have 2 extremely powerful 6s. Darth Vader is, the charge in your face, beat you down, and if you run away from him, Soontir will catch you. And then Mauler and Scourge and Tomax could just fly in a formation and just beat you to death with 3 attack dice, modded attacks. I would soften you up with Mauler or Scourge first, and then Tomax would hit you with the barrage rockets. So this was a pretty nasty list. I had some fairly good success with this. So this is another example of just how to slot 2 damage dealers into a list with 2 priority powerful ships. Because this list is built mostly around Soontir and Vader. The whole point is to have 2 6s to overpower your enemies. But Mauler and Scourge are 2 very nice, cheap, 3-point, 3 attack dice, high pilot skill ships, and Tomax was another part of that as well.
Other things that we would like you to build upon is, well, we got online resources for you to check out so that you can build your knowledge about the game. And what I will tell you is we have the official AMG website right there. So now, if you're looking for other things, or if one of our hosts mentioned something that you're not familiar with, go ahead and get that term, plug it into this Fandom 2nd edition, and it will pop up what it is that you're looking for. Also, feel free to check out other fan-made sources that will also help you along the way. And if you are trying to figure out which list builder to use to build your squadron, check out any of these 3. So, in which case, next thing, hopefully we helped you out, so we would very much appreciate it if you help us out and click like on the videos that you like. That way we know what more videos to create more of. Don't forget to subscribe to our future transmissions and tell a friend about us so that we can get this channel a little bit further out and more people can start playing the game. So, without further ado, thank you so very much for watching. Thank you to our hosts for being a part of this. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Don't forget to friend us on Facebook. I haven't said no to anybody yet. And make certain to drop any questions or drop a comment below in our comment section on this video. That way other people can see what questions have been asked and see what answers have been given. I'd also like to say thank you to SlidesGo, Flat Icon, and FreePick for the use of their media in this presentation. And as always, BatMando out.